Hey guys, I want to talk to you about type and fonts and all that cool stuff when you think about good graphic design. So font selection is essentially the graphic designer's favorite thing and the graphic designer's worst nightmare. There are millions and millions of fonts out there. Which one is right for my project? All right, let's take a look at these two images. The image on the right and the image on the left are the same message, but they deliver different things. They deliver a different message, if you will. The one on the right is, "Oh, I've been waiting for you," and the one on the left is, "I've been waiting for you." Two completely different meanings. That's because of font selection. All right. When we're selecting some fonts for our project, there are more than just what's in your computer. We have the ability to download fonts. I'm going to show you a couple of ways and a couple of rules that we follow when we're creating with fonts and typography. So let's check it out. All right, hey gang, I just want to show you a little bit about this project. In this project, we're going to learn a little bit about fonts. As I said before, fonts have the ability to change the meaning, fonts and context. All right, I've been waiting for you, and I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you, right? The fonts chosen and the context of which we see those fonts ultimately change the meaning. So font selection is terribly important. There are millions and millions of types of fonts out there. We're going to learn a little bit about them. I'm going to show you how to download fonts. We're going to talk about banned fonts and why they're banned. These fonts are generally overused. They're out of date. They're not accepted by the graphic design community. They kind of look like something that you might see on a preschool bulletin board. So we tend to have you stray away from those fonts and not use those fonts. There's millions of fonts that we can choose from. So I'm going to show you guys how to download some fonts. We're going to use a website called dafont.com. It's a fantastic resource where we can literally choose from different display fonts and typewriter and stencil and sans serif, serif, medieval, Gothic, Celtic, calligraphy, graffiti, brush. There's millions of fonts out there. This is just one spot to use them. We use dafont.com in our class because it's the easiest way of doing it. I'm going to start by opening up a file in Adobe Illustrator. We're going to create an 8x8 artboard, and I am going to copy and paste my list of fonts or my list of the categories that I'm going to be creating. You'll notice that when you paste something in for the first time, this font is named Myriad Pro. All right, Myriad Pro is a banned font in our class because it is the Illustrator default font. So you're not going to use this list. You're just going to reference this list. So I'm going to start by just typing out one of the words that I wanna create. So Western. If I type out Western, all right, I can Command C, copy and paste Western, and I'm going to type in brush. All right. I'm doing this because I want to be able to control the size. All right. I want to be able to control the size. And if I were to click my type tool and just click, I can do it that way. I can go stencil. All right. So you're going to start by designing and typing out all your words. Holding shift when you resize, it's important to hold shift because we don't want to, that's not what the font should look like. We don't want to squeeze or stretch the fonts. So Command T is my font window. All right, Command T is my font window, and you may see it look like this. But if I click these three lines and click Show Options here, these are my other windows. And we want to make sure our vertical scale and our horizontal scale is nothing other than 100%, because we don't want to stretch. So that's a rule of font usage in our class. Don't stretch things, guys. Don't stretch things. All right. If I choose a different font here, I'm going to go ahead and use this as my banned font. So I can copy and paste. Myriad Pro is a banned font. One, again, because it is the default font. Go download a font, better fonts. We don't use Myriad Pro in the class. So banned. All right, that is just an example of a font that's banned. But I don't have any of these projects downloaded or any of these any fonts to use that I've downloaded. So we need to go download them. So I'm going to go look for. Let's start with Western. All right, if I go to the Western category, it's nice. The font's great because I can go find. And if I was typing a wanted poster or something like that for a kid's birthday party or what have you. I can type in a word, all right? I can type in any word, Western, Zimka, you guys are going to be doing something with your names. So I can see different fonts, all right? I can see different fonts. Ooh, I kind of like this one. I kind of like this Texas Tango. So if I click Texas Tango and download it, all right? If I download a font like Texas Tango, it's going to be right here. It's going to be right here. We're going to click the OTF file, and then we're going to click Install Font. All right. Texas Tango is now installed. So if I were to go select Western, all right, I can now type in Texas Tango, all right, and then resize that, all right, and then move on to the next one. All right. We'll go find a brush font. So I can go find a font. I could type in here so I could see brush, right? So I know what it's going to look like. I'm going to click 100. I'm going to click these medium so we can see it better. All right. None of these look like a brush font, right? Created with a brush. All right. I can go and look at like a foreign look, Chinese, Japanese. All right. That kind of looks like it was brushed if you're going for a different vibe. But there's an entire category over here, guys, that is script. So any one of these kind of looks like you've got handwritten, you've got school, all right, you've got trash, which is kind of I kind of like this one, road rage. All right, so I'm going to click download road rage. All right, go to my downloads folder, click road rage, make sure I click the OTF or the TTF, click install font. All right, go and select my word, go over here and type in road rage. And then this is an example of a font that's brushed. All right. Let's pretend for a moment I do all my fonts. I get the 6 other describing fonts like slippery or bleeding or give me another couple of words, another 6 words that would describe a font, and I want you to download those fonts. But when we're ready to save, all right, you should always be saving your projects as an AI. So I'm going to name this fonts. All right, fonts underscore Zimka, and I'm going to save that to my desktop. All right, let's go to our desktop. So it's there. All right, but when I save this to turn it in, you guys, we have to do something first. All right, so when I save this to turn it in as a PDF, I'm going to save as. All right, font Zimka, I'm going to say format, Adobe PDF. All right, and when I click save, all right, I'm going to view my PDF after saving. All right. You might see something like this. The font Texas Tango could not be embedded in the PDF document because of a licensing restriction. All right. I like to explain to this when I look at this. See now Western font, that Western font isn't coming out the way I wanted. All right. I like to explain this that when people on defont.com, the people that Yusuf Habachki or all these users, they upload these fonts for you to download for free, but they don't want companies like McDonald's or Spotify or these big companies to use their products to make money. All right, so they're asking you. You guys are students, so you're able to use these. But this is a way we get around this, just for our school use. Before I was to download a font, or before I was to save and to turn this in, I'm going to take all my fonts that I've done, all right, and I'm going to go to Type, Create Outlines, all right. Doing this, it makes it no longer a font now, but if I go into outline mode, it makes it a shape, you guys. So I'm able to get around saving these fonts as fonts, but if I outline them and make them shapes, all right, this is now a vector shape that looks like my font. So if I click save again and it opens it up, it will open up the way that it should be opened, or the way that you designed it. All right. So I want to see 20 fonts, organize them neatly. Make sure when you resize, you hold shift. All right. Make sure when you resize, you hold shift. I want to see a nice color scheme. And then when you turn it in, you should have something that looks nice with a nice color scheme. Make sure you outline your fonts, and happy designing.